and welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G, and with me this evening we have IWAR Commissioner, BRL Commissioner, Matt Riley, Larry Sullivan, who is the co-commissioner of the BRL. We have Luke Martin, who will be joining us a little bit later. He is the IWL contributor, and myself, Alex G. I am the IWL commissioner, so allegedly. And guys, you may have noticed that we didn't have a Tubecast last cycle. What had happened was this, and we family, so I'm just going to be honest and tell the truth here. We were on Skype, we're ready to go, and all of a sudden my internet got cut off in the middle of our conversation. My internet provider got real angry with me for some of the stuff I guess I was doing on the internet, and they had locked down my internet for about a day and a half. So that was awful. But I was able to have a conversation with them, and they got me back online. So thank you, Optimum.
You're sure it wasn't the guys who shut down that pipeline?
It might have been the same guys. So after that, I downloaded Xbox Game Pass for the PC. And it wasn't installing right. I had a couple of registry errors in there, and I had to reinstall Windows. And for those of you who have ever had to reinstall Windows, it wipes out everything on your hard drive.
Oh no!
It does, and I tried to move what I could over, but one of the things that I did end up losing was my video editing software. So I have to get a new video editing software so I can get this episode out relatively quickly. So I'm in the process of doing that as we speak, is getting new video editing software. So yeah, so that was fun. Oftentimes your life does get in the way of stuff, and you know, we took a little break, a little hiatus to get recharged and ready to go. So yes. You know, we're gonna have all new content coming out shortly, and Matt, I think you get a kick out of this. Our next show for the AWA 1990 project, we're gonna talk about Battle of the Breakfast Cereal. So this is what this is. The Battle of the Breakfast Cereal was Kellogg. You know they make Frosted Flakes and shit.
Sure,
right? Yeah. So they were having their leadership conference. You know, I've been to a couple of those. Matt, you've probably been to a couple of those. Anyone that has ever been on some of these corporate retreats know like how awful and boring they can be. Unfortunately, we didn't go in the 80s because this one is awesome. So for their corporate leadership retreat or meeting, they had wrestling matches, and the baby faces were all represented, and they had all brand new gimmicks representing Kellogg. And the heels was General Mills and his band of misfits, and they changed all the heels gimmick to be General Mills characters, and they cut these so they had these speeches in the middle of this thing, like when you go to any of these leadership meetings, they have like these big speeches and these kind of like learning sessions and stuff like that. And this is more of like a raw, like let's gonna kick General Mills' ass. And there's one point where like he literally punts like a thing of like Captain Crunch, and it's fucking fantastic. And it's like I wish I was I wish I worked for a corporation in the 80s, because they were more about like let's kick everyone's ass. Those guys suck. You know, and they're really kind of getting behind it. If you go to some of these leadership meetings now, it's more about like, you know, let's play nice. Let's like no, these guys really want to take out the competition, and I kind of miss that kind of aspect of corporate culture that's gone by the wayside, unfortunately, in the year 2021. So we're gonna review that show because that show is fucking awesome. It's insane. It's completely, and we're gonna have clips and everything, and it's gonna be great. I think overall we have a lot of cool stuff now in the pipeline. So please bear with us. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening to the Tubecast. So guys, this episode will be the spring 2021 cycle in review. And since we didn't have a Tubecast last cycle, I think we're going to start off with IWAR wide news. So Matt, what do you got for us IWAR wide?
We will start off with Best of the Best One, Tuesday Night Titans. Now, this is, of course, our new format that will determine the next challenger for the IWAR World Championship. And 8 of the top IWAR wrestlers put into a tournament, the winner of which will face Joe Boring, who has had the belt for, I think, 15 years. So, opening round matchups, Logan Kane was defeated by Luther Alexander. The Chameleon got by Dixon Ticonderoga. Harlem Hamilton took down Tyler Dresden, and Adam Cash defeated Loveberger. So our second round matchups have Luther Alexander versus Chameleon when those guys hate each other, so that's great. And then we have Harlem Hamilton versus Hot Stuff Adam Cash. So it'll be one of those four men move on eventually to challenge, but we wanted to kind of really push this, so it's a whole one-page spread, and it's a way for us to kind of really push the storytelling style of play, and encourage people to get up there and do promos. You don't have to be the best promo ever. Just make sure you're consistent, working, and you might get selected for the next Best of the Best 2.
The Revenge.
The Revenge, yes. Which, by the way, fun quick fact, on YouTube there's a video called 10 Rip-Offs of Jaws that don't involve sharks. It's a fun watch involving The Revenge. So let's see what else is going on. The Murano Memorial has cranked into its third round, and we have, let's see here, Joe Exotic and B.F. Fox taking on Dragon de Oro and El Barro. On the other side of this bracket, we have Massive Love and Chubby Love taking on LePage Turner and Harlem Hamilton. We have Christopher Destruction and Ken Oblivion taking on Sabretooth and Wolf. We have Big Tad and MTG taking on Warpig and Lady Swine. Russian Roulette, Alexei Smirnov and Jake Scarlett taking on Adam Cash and Logan Kane. And the final matchup features Jack Ferdinand and U.S. Mail taking on Black Death and Sister Abigail. So that's the third round matchups for the Murano Memorial. Now, the Johnny B. Cup is also rolling into its third round, and we have, again, more big matchups. So bear with me here. So first, we have defending champion Timothy Zastampowski taking on Ruthless Donnie. We have Donnie Bloodstone taking on the Dream Aliatari. We have the Chameleon facing Jax McAllister. Massive Love has made his way to this round. He'll take on Harlem Hamilton. We have Sheldon Schrute taking on Silver Fox. LePage Turner taking on Fiction. Bulk Slogan taking on Senor Lucha. We'll be happy to cheer for him. Zydrate facing El Barbero. So that's the third round matchups. And you may have noticed in the report that we've spent more time kind of really accentuating or focusing on the various events. So upcoming events. We have the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, which is actually the second Queen of the Ring. Or third. I'm sorry, third. And what we've done is the King of the Ring is going to be an event that's loaded with NWL alumni that are trash talking or active, as a way for NWL alumni to kind of have it out and renew some old rivalries. The Queen of the Ring is loaded with women wrestlers from across the IWAR, which is now only 3 leagues, but hey, it still counts. Let me see here. We have the Lethal Lottery, which is filling up fast. And Lethal Lottery, of course, is a tag team tournament. It's free to enter. I want to mention that again. We changed to free entry for this one. So if you paid money for this event, you can say that way, hey, I paid money and I need to get credit because it's supposed to be free. You enter this tournament, 1 wrestler per player. So if you have 12 wrestlers, pick one. Contact myself. Let me know that you're entering them. They'll get put into the mix, and then they will pair these wrestlers into teams and have a tournament, and they'll be partners. So it'll be kind of a different approach. Now, just keep in mind, this is a tag tournament by total point score, so you don't have to worry about strategizing and flowing. Just have a good score. We also have the 4th Summer Series coming out. We're getting a lot of those. We have 26 entries so far. If you want in, there's plenty of time left. That event doesn't start until June 29th, so 2 more cycles to go, really. Let's see. We have, of course, the Name That Jobber contest. Still loading up. And, of course, that's free to enter, but the overall top vote getter, whoever comes up with that name, will get 5 free matches. So it's a fun way to add in, actually, 3 winners. It'll be 3 new scrubs, 1 for each league. So we'll get involved.
Have we had any new entries?
Sore Loser Gerrymander was the last new name I got.
Okay.
I think gas station Dick Pills is still leading the way.
You never know, though.
Yeah, but we will add a voting poll for this. Oh, I got the Manaconda. The thing I keep thinking about, I wonder if I searched Google if any of these names would pop up. I still like Handyman. All right. So, anyways, other events coming up, also free, a little more complex. Coming up down the line for more rules for this. Battle of the IWAR Network Stars, or the Team Challenge Series. You can look in the ad for some great vintage shots of old celebrities when they were young. Not to be forgotten, this fall, Bound for Glory, number 9, Tag Team Derby, number 14, the Triple D Cup Trios Tournament, number 12. Well, those are all coming in the fall, and we've already people signing up for them, so I'll start a sign-up list pretty soon to make it official so everyone can keep track. But these are all good events. They're $2 to enter, so those are IWAR-wide events that are going wild. And also to announce that we have the Best of 7 series coming this summer, and it's starting in August. So what we will do is we'll take one superstar from the BRL and one from the IWL. They'll go head-to-head. And, the idea is that the winner will, win some free matches, but one player in each league will win. It's their league will win 10 free matches. So it's a little surprise bonus. The draft, of course. Some people asked about the draft. So doing the points this year, I know things were really hectic with all the movement and changes in the IWAR. But the 2020 IWAR draft winner was Bulk Brogan from the IWL with 85 points.
Damn right he was.
What's that?
Damn right he was.
That's right. So Bulk Brogan wins a title shot at the Revolution Championship. And there's that. Oh, I should talk about the IWAR Championships, too. So the IWAR Championships, as they are currently constituted, had a round of play. And we did triple threat matches to give Commissioner Champions a shot. Well, Joe Boring defeated both challengers, Neo Dragon and Punk Rock Mike.
Not surprised at all.
No, he's a machine. He's impossible to beat. The White Claw Outlaws retained the tag belts, so they're still in the BBL with the belts. So we had to get the belts off those guys, or hopefully they'll come back over. That's what I'm hoping happens. Bring them back in. We did have one surprise. Johnny WrestleFest defeated Money Driven Mike Sebastian for the Revolution Championship. So we have a new Revolution champion. And the World Six-Man Championship was a draw, so the regulators still retain those belts. So that's the bulk of events. Some people asked if we were going to do a draft for the. I had mentioned early on, we'll do a special draft just for CWL and BBL players. And pretty much it was 6 people, and then half those guys knew where they wanted to go anyways. So we're like, well, let's save ourselves some work. That's what we did. So yeah, there it is. That's the events I think right now. So please take part in them. They make things more fun when they results come out, because you never know if you're going to actually advance in a tournament or win a match and get a title. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah, man, I dig that. So up first, we have the NWL New Wave League, cycle number 165, league champion, Wildside the Matrix, TV champion, Master Exploder, Central Plains champion, A Person, East Coast champion, Nivik Largo, Great Lakes champion, Fighter X, Mid-Atlantic champion, Mannequin number 2, which is my favorite sequel of all time, Northeast champion, Genesis, Pacific Northwest champion, the Black Scorpion, Rocky Mountain champion, the Impact player, Leon Phoenix, Southeast champion, Messiah, Southwest champion, Mannequin number 1, West Coast champion, Black Death, League Tag Team champions, Scott and Colossus, TV Tag Team champions, Chung V and Playboy Mike Ferrari, League 6-Man champions, Messiah, Revelation, and Genesis, TV 6-Man champion, Special Delivery, U.S. Male Mannequin 1 and 2, and your Battle Royal winner, The Matrix. So, Matt, what's going down in the NWL?
Well, a lot as usual. We have a lot of movement going on. People graduating, newcomers arriving, and the new folks that are arriving are really bringing the game, really, really showing some promo skills. I do want to mention, speaking of promos, we had a promo recently by a wrestler, U.S. male, who beat up a fan, and there was a player who his wrestler Dan the Beast Severn. The player had talked about how he knew him personally and told a couple of anecdotes about him. Really cool. So U.S. Male had an attack where he went after the Beast's #1 fan, and I think it was in hopes of setting up a big feud. And unfortunately, the Beast vanished. So we've had a couple of these happen over the years where someone put a lot of work into a promo to set up a really good sneak attack, and the other person takes it personally and bails. And it's unfortunate because I think some of the people that have really good sneak attacks, they put a lot of work into it. We were mentioning before the show about the time I did a promo in CWL where I had Monster Truck Tanaka do an attack which looked exactly the same exact font, everything as the other guy, the whole page, and he ignored it. It was like, really, dude? Okay. So don't take attacks as as an insult. That's usually a sign of that they like what you do. People don't sneak attack somebody that really sucks, because if they do, they're wasting their time. So I always think, keep the sneak attacks in the game. Don't make it like a personal attack on that person. Someone's checking their mailbox, and all of a sudden U.S. Mail pops out and beats him with a shoe. That would be silly. But having, your wrestler show up and, break their car, or, a good example. The U.S. Mail did another attack where he did a Rick Rude type thing, and one of the wrestler's mothers in the audience went to slap him, so he started rubbing her hand on his oily body, and then of
Very
course
oily too.
Yeah, and then her son charged in, Spider Williams, and whatever. So that was a good promo that set up.
Hell, Mama Ton got stabbed by the pencil last cycle. It was awesome.
Who did?
Mama Ton, Prince Tun's mother.
Yep.
Mama Ton. See, it's okay to have wrestlers' mothers involved or fathers involved. Look at poor Jane Red. Her father, has been hospitalized several times by Gina Colada.
Hey, listen, the first episode of Saturday's Main Event was a Mother's Day episode.
Was it really?
And we saw JYD's mom, and Fred Blassie had his mom, but his mom was 25, and it was weird.
All right. Well, I wanted to just cover the NWL stuff. So there's a lot going on. But I wanted to talk about some of the promos. So this coming cycle, and this happened in the BRL and in the NWL, where we went from a 3-cycle format for pay-per-views and events to a 4-cycle. So there was a little bit of a bump in the road when it came to extending. So, the Young Lions Championship match with Flashy Jack Ferdinand, Yoko Tuna defending against him, and Steve Vertigo. That's coming up. We have the Hardcore Championship match, a ladder match, the number 1 contenders match. So I posted the results from this on the Facebook page. So if you're on there, go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to post the write-up yet. I'm going to wait until Monday to get that out there, so you can see it all at the same time. Good reading material. But getting into the meat of the league, we do have the All-Rookie Cup, which has come down to 4 finalists, and the 4 finalists are Zydrate, Leon Phoenix, Stevie Vertigo, and Jack Ferdinand. Now, since those guys all had a tie score, they are in advance to a 4-way rookie match, all rookie ladder match. So winner will take all. So then, of course, the Bad Company Cup, we have the Mannequins taking on Sister Abigail and Black Death. So that's going to be a big match there. That's the second Bad Company Cup. So, lots of excitement. We have some good promos in here. I do want to mention that as a heads up, I know that the Hillbillies, Yoko Tuna, I believe Chong V, Flash Jack Ferdinand, Nick Legacy, and Mr. 605, possibly more, are going to be leaving the league. So if you're working for a feud with them, you might want to rethink that. Some players reach out to me and sent me their promos. That's great, and pictures of the wrestlers. That's fantastic. We'll incorporate them into the report as soon as possible. Mike Dynasty with a wrestler profile and a picture of some skulls with crowns on it. So a bad time to be a king. If you're listening, Mike Dynasty, right? Reach out to us, connect. California Gunslinger also wrote to me, and he's in the mix with some nice promo here, calling out gunfighter Matt Dillon, who I believe has been active, so it should be an easy win for him. Let's see here. We have, of course, Steve Vertigo's always solid promo with a mysterious attack on his tag partner Lance Horowitz. Jack Ferdinand's ever well-written, well-laid-out promo. And, of course, he wants to, destroy the Hillbillies and end that feud. And then, of course, we have Genco, which is Zydrate, Nivek Largo, and the addition of Shiloh Wallace.
Oh.
So, female wrestler entering NWL, which is good. I always feel bad the NWL doesn't get more women wrestlers because we seem to get like one at a time. We had like Natalie Nightmare for a long time. We had Natalie Bowen for a long time. But very few other people. It was the squirrel. Was the red squirrel? What's her name?
The secret squirrel?
Red Panda. That was
Red Panda, yes.
Yeah, and then
I once gave a girl a Red Panda.
Oh my God!
Oh man.
I do want to give credit to Lone Star Redneck for a hand-drawn picture of the new arrival and reaching out to me. So thank you for sending that. We want to get you guys involved as fast as possible. So get out there, promo, sign matches. We've done a few different changes. The NWL report layout, where it's now a little more educational. So we have listing like the league champion. I also list who can challenge for that belt as a way to help you all and those that want to have shots at the Young Lions or Hardcore Championship. How you go about getting those shots. So this is going to be a very big cycle. Lots going on. Some big changes coming. So new talent coming in. So keep that going. And of course, if you have questions or comments or ideas, you can always reach out. If you're a little confused about how the winning process goes, there's the How to Win Attaway video. It's on YouTube. It's a link on the Attaway homepage. You can also check out the Willie Pinham tips page, which kind of offers a basic strategy approach to kind of getting yourself going. So there's all that and more. How's that?
Yeah, man. I dig that. Up next, Battle Royal League number 566. League champion Fatty the Butcher. TV champion Randy the Ram. Central Plains champion, the Russian Rocket Alexei Smirnov. East Coast champion, sharpshooter Jake Scarlett. Great Lakes champion Harlem Hamilton. Mid-Atlantic champion Winnipeg Wookie. Northeast champion Monster Truck Tanaka. Pacific Northwest champion Hawaiian Heartthrob. Rocky Mountain champion Massive Love. Southeast champion Becky North. Southwest champion Meow El Barbero. West Coast champion Dungeon Master Sheldon Schrute. League Tag Team champion Sharpshooter Jake Scarlett and the Russian Rocket Alexei Smirnov. TV Tag Team champion Author of Agony LePage Turner and Harlem Hamilton. League Six-Man champions winning 5 free matches Jake Scarlett, Max Ripley, and the Russian Rocket Alexei Smirnov. TV Six-Man champions Hot Stuff Adam Cash, Fatty the Butcher, and Late Night Logan Kane. And your Battle Royal winner winning $50 in IWA credit, Hawaiian Heartthrob. So, Larry, you're going to take this one, right?
I think Matt's going to take it. I have someone scratching at my door right
Okay.
now.
Yes, so Larry, of course, has been hunted by an animated voodoo doll. So he'll be battling that as we do this.
It's Alexa Bliss's new doll that she shows up on Monday Night Raw with. I don't know how it got in, but it did.
Oh, Alexa Bliss.
All right, so, Matt, what's going down? NWRL.
A lot's going down, actually. And much like I mentioned before, the NWL, where the pay-per-view schedule is a little bit hinky, this cycle coming is the final Ice Train.
Ice Train.
Is the cycle where the matches will determine the number one contenders for a lot of events. The traditional BRL way of determining titles ended with this particular pay-per-view. So we already know who won the global matches. We know who won the current title matches are all settled. We will have a new Cruiser champion and a new North American champion as of this coming cycle, as will all the determination matches for number one contenders happen this cycle. So a lot going on there. I do want to say that, I appreciate everyone getting involved and being very active. I know we've had some changes coming on, and,
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault. I do want to mention that, toot my own horn here, pull the Arn Anderson, but toot, Fatty the Butcher also captured the Elite and Metropolitan Championships.
Son of a bitch.
So that was a surprise. It's funny. I usually, I'll be at work. I was at work and on lunch, so I check my phone, and I see, and I'm scrolling, and I'm looking. I'm like, I scrolled right past it, and I went, "Oh, someone's got a name like my guy," because I didn't think like he was gonna win it, and I scrolled like, "Oh, that's me. That's my guy." So that was kind of cool. That was a nice surprise. You get some extra matches coming in.
And Matt, isn't that Fatty's first BRL league?
It is. He, after 11 years of chasing the boyhood dream come true.
Oh, fucking time.
Fatty the Butcher finally, right. And it's funny, consider that he is, I think the 11th ranked all-time BRL wrestler, and that he just won his first, well, he is now. But it took him that long, whatever. So I'll talk more about the strategy approach to this and how it was different, because I had a thing I wanted to share about this, but I'll do it on the workshop, which is Thursday night, 11:30, which will probably be after this is published, but that's okay. But I just wanted to kind of talk about, a couple things, going into this cycle. It's a big cycle. So someone out of the Elimination Chamber, which is Sheldon Schrute, Mike Sebastian, Chris Champion, Tyler Dresden, Agent 26, and R.A. Rude, one of them will be the new number one contender, and they'll challenge Punk Rock Mike at the next pay-per-view, Out of Anarchy. So, lots on the line there. Rooting for Sheldon Schrute, but that's because I'm a Schrute mark. Getting into the trash talk, I will mention that I did unveil the new format excuse me, for the superstars and stables of the BRL. And to me, it's a little crisper, cleaner way of showing it. Kind of helps keep people aware of who's who, because oftentimes it's like, oh, there's a league. You go to a league, and BRL especially, people come in and go like, oh my God, this league is enormous. There's so many wrestlers and these big records, and well, who are the people behind it? So we're trying to set that up as a way to show people who's who. So those pages are in progress. So if you see oh, it needs to be updated, yeah, I know it's in the works. This will be a project that's probably going to go on through most of the year, and to stay ahead of it. Let's see here. BRL record books. Going into the trash talk. So Monster Truck Tanaka did arrive. They butchered his record, so I got to fix that. Gina Colada, I enjoy her. I just want to kind of say I'll let Larry chime in with some his thoughts on the promos here. So Larry can chime in if he's not being attacked by Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I wanted to start off by saying how much I loved Tyler Dresden's promo. It's nice to see him finally talking, and when he does, he puts out a really solid promo. He laid out exactly what he has coming up in terms of pay-per-view matches and other tournaments he's involved in, and then he ends it on a nice little bit of comedy, which I always appreciate. So, nice job, Tyler. Glad to see him active in the BRL, and can't wait to see what he does next. I'm scrolling through. Oh, we had the arrival of Catfish Tim. Now, I haven't been playing an incredibly long time, but do you guys know Catfish Tim, or is this his first appearance?
Catfish Tim?
Catfish Tim.
So not Catfish Rob.
Catfish Rob's his father, apparently.
Oh.
So now Catfish Tim has joined his dad, and he's calling himself the man behind the curtain of DOD order. Thugs for Hire have promised, not only did they promise, they delivered on their promise. They got Dungeon Master Sheldon Schrute his beloved Stanley Members Only jacket.
Oh.
And we all know, if you've read the promos, what Sheldon Trout went through to get a hold of that jacket to begin with,
That's right.
resulting in the death of Stan Lee. Stuff seems to be coming to a head with Adam Cash, Fatty the Butcher, and Late Night Logan Kane. We'll have to see how things play out after Majabash and the Global Tag Team Championship match against the Book Club. But there's a lot of bickering going on, a lot of back and forth about merch sales. Fatty the Butcher seems none too happy with Logan Kane getting involved with blood money business. So we're gonna see how that plays out. And then the war of words and the war of just violence between Sheldon Trout and Jax McAllister also seems to be escalating in a major way. We've had people's heirloom Superman underoos torn to shreds. We've had people stabbed through the hand in Irish pubs, and now we've had sneak attacks involving BRL scrubs. So God only knows what's going to happen come May between those two. And then also, last for me, I'm really loving the promos that the Love Connection's putting out. They're funny. They're very involved. Their war with the Holy Family seems to just be, again, escalating in a really crazy way. So I'm looking forward to the Love Connection, the Holy Family settling things soon at an upcoming pay-per-view. Those were my highlights.
Okay, I do want to welcome back Miss Truth to the BRL. Truth has returned after a stint in the BBL, and we knew this was going to be happening with some of our wrestlers. I also want to welcome Hawaiian Heartthrob over from the CWL, who came in with a great debut, winning the Battle Royal, which, again, $50 in IWA credit. Nothing to sneeze at, folks. It is a great prize. Anyone has a shot at it, and I mean, it's funny. Some people really seem to be exceptional at winning Battle Royals, but it's a great way to get involved and get on the title page too, because it's so tough in the BRL. I expect it to get tougher. I will say that we'd like to see more promos, so it's good to start pick a feud. I was telling people, I was recently asked about, like, well, you said we've heard that you, meaning the IWAR Tubecast, we hate the invasion angles, and I would say they
I do.
I would say they rank somewhere right below heel boss GMs, which generally speaking has been done to death, and I've only seen one league really do it well, IWL, but that's because there's a lot of history there, and it's not one of those things where, like, the boss is all over the place. Like, it's a definitive, like, what's going on. Invasion angles I usually don't like because there's so much going on. It'd be better for a league that was slow. Like, if your league's a slow league and you want to get a jump start, well, feud within the league, because you can kind of get your guys to band up and want to fight the other side. But if you got like a ton of talent in your league, you don't want to like ignore the talent and have like, okay, guys, put everything on hold and feud with these guys. I would say if you're coming into the BRL or any kind of big league right now, for that matter, IWL, BRL, you want a couple things you want to do. You want to establish who you are, what you want, and what you're going to do to get it. Those are the three big things. And I would say lay out, like, if you want to go after somebody, there's a lot of big names in the BRL with history. Check out who promos. Who do you want to work with? Do you want to start off with a big feud right off the bat? Some of these guys that are coming back in, like Tanaka, Heartthrob, Truth, there's some history there. So, work with the history. I do know that, some players are undecided where they want to go yet. So I always say, check out every league you're interested in. Take a couple looks, especially if you're leaving the NWL, let's say, in 3 cycles. You should be looking now, like checking out the leagues you want to go to. So when you leap over, you can go right to where you want to go and jump right into the action. Also a big fan of Love Connection. I always think one of the best way or gauges is if everyone in the IWAR Tubecast is laughing about something, or like reading our notes and like, oh yeah, I read that part too.
The
It's
other
a
thing
good.
those guys do that's smart, and I think this goes for the guys who are going to be coming over to the IWL or the BRL from the NWL,
Mhm.
when you're trying to figure out who you want to feud against, you can go after one person, but you better hope that they're not involved with something else or that they're going to actually respond. So for your first promo or two, sometimes it's nice to go after a group, a variety of wrestlers.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of, you put your line in the water and you see who responds, and then go from there. And that's also a good way to get something going sooner than later.
Right. Another good thing to do too, and I'll say this is looking at Neverfull Joey Saltimboca. I hope I'm saying that right. But announcing that they're going to do something at the Imagibash show. Like there was my God, what league was it? Oh no, it was the BRL when they had the Medal of Freedom. Like building in an event into a show. Most commissioners, I was at promoters. Most commissioners will be thrilled to have some like extra bonus footage or like stuff to work with. I recently, while writing, watched Clash of Champions #1, and a few things stood out. One was the fact they changed the music from the original official like Midnight Express theme to like generic awful stuff. Two was the number of awkward interviews they had between matches. Dr. Death Steve Williams, Nikita Koloff, the guy from Leave It to Beaver, and
Yes.
all right. Um, Steve Williams must have been on so much cocaine because Al Perez, another one. They gave these awkward promos, and like one of my favorite lines is Nikita Koloff is talking about Tully Blanchard and how he attacked Dusty, or Dusty beat him up with a bat, and he's like, "I hope you did not walk away. If you did walk away," and like, oh my God, dude, like it's the thrill of a live promo, but also it's just But again, if you write to me and say, "Hey, I'm coming into the BRL or whatever, and I want to do a promo at the pay per view where I call out so and so," that's a great way to get noticed. I don't want to have 15 of them, but if I have one or two great promos or even a vignette where it introduces, establishes your character, that's great. Um, it really is a big league, but the promos stand out. We have a lot of players who are really active and engaged. So don't be afraid to jump in there and get in the action.
I have an affinity for Patty Mullins as a judge on that show, by the way.
Yes, that's right. I told you my #1 beef with that Clash Champions, besides the music and the interviews, was the fact that the main event. I watched this with friends. We were in we were in high school, I think, and we watched it at my friend Sean's house, and we were so excited. His mother was a huge Sting fan, and she's this big Bayesian woman, and she clapped her hands like every time he did a big move. Oh, Stingy, get him! And whenever they finished that with a draw, Saturday Scott votes a draw. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't sell a product as we're gonna have a winner, and then you go, oh, that's why that company died. Oh, I mean, not the only reason, but
Among many reasons.
you killed a lot of markets that way because people will be like, fuck this. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, there's a show called Manifest. Have you heard of the show at all?
No.
No.
Okay. Manifest it's an NBC show, and the premise is kind of okay. It's about an airplane that crashed. It went off, like it disappeared, and then reappears 5 years later. And like everyone's like the same age they were then, and they've now been finding pieces of the plane like in the ocean, so they don't know what's going on. And so it's a kind of a mystery. But the storylines are so hokey, and now they're getting like Egyptian gods into it. So you go, okay, I'm really kind of getting annoyed. This is really going off the rails. Similarly, a show called Debris, about an alien ship that explodes over the planet and like rains debris all over the world, and that debris can cause special effects or powers or other things, right? Kind of interesting. They did a Groundhog Day episode where it just got worse and worse and worse and like more ridiculous. And I always feel like in the BRL and the IWL and the IWA in general, you want to just give us something to work with, Bring in an idea, bring in a character, bring in a feud, a storyline, make it work. And don't be afraid to try things. But I always say if you promise a storyline, deliver on it. Like it's like having the old hair versus hair match, and they'd buzz the guy's sideburns and be like, "Oh, that's not really a hair versus hair match." We want the Jerry Lawler full bald head hair versus hair match.
Or you can do what I did with Jane Red.
Oh yes, that's another option you can go with. Jane Red is not very happy these days because her father's been beat up several times by Gina Colada.
Deserved it.
Yeah, but I just want to mention again, we're seeing a lot of good writing in the BRL. What we're hoping to do is this pay-per-view coming up, Magic Bash. This cycle determines all the match that are left to determine. So we'll have all the results. We'll post the results after this cycle. We'll be writing the matches up. A lot going on. Probably a 2-page event. But remember, this is all about keeping you guys active. So if you have an idea for like a run-in, or if you notice the finish of the match and you didn't win, you want to do something special, or vice versa, contact us. Let us know. So, anyways, that's all the news fit to print.
Yeah, man, I dig that. All right, next up, Independent Wrestling League. Number 138, league champion Luther Alexander. Television champion Senior Lucha. New York City champion The American Patriot. Los Angeles champion Chase Grace. Boston champion Pop Culture Peter Cross. Detroit champion Honestly Brutal Abe. Cleveland champion Bulk Brogan. Dallas champion Friendzone Frederick Goodfellow. Memphis champion Joe Boring. Miami champion The Dream Aliatari. San Francisco champion The Main Event Dylan Matthews. Chicago champion Texas Jesse's Tombstone. League Tag Team Champion, The American Patriot and the Chameleon. TV Tag Team Champion, Chase and Justin Grace. League Six-Man Champions, Shocker, Jimmy Electric, Prince Tun, and Rosanna, the Three Birds. TV Six-Man Champions, the Christian Warrior, Chase Grace, and Justin Grace. Battle Royal winning 50 free IWL matches, the Chameleon. So, Alex G, what's going down in the IWL? Well, guys, we're coming off our latest pay-per-view, Soul Survivor. So make sure you read the pay-per-view and you check out the results over here in the Blaze. I think everyone did a fantastic job overall getting their match write-ups to me and the Timely Faction. And I thought it was one of our more entertaining pay-per-views that we've had in quite a while. Twists and turns, and it was pretty good. So, in addition to that, we got a pin-up of Steel Cut Oats looking jacked as always. Guys, don't forget, Cycle 141 will be Wrestle Riot. It'll be live from the Walmart parking lot in Bucksnort, Tennessee. In addition to that, at Wrestle Riot, we're going to have the Kumite. So we have Christian Warrior, Xavier Jimenez, Alexander J. Styles, Haruki Fuji, the Teamster, the Freak, Logan Kane as a replacement, and Frankie Stitchino. I just noticed I spelled Logan Kane wrong. Awesome. So that will be a one-night winner-take-all tournament. Again, it will be no holds barred, knockout or submission only. So that's going to be a lot of fun. In addition to that, we're going to have the Elite Eight. So the winner of the Elite Eight will get a shot at the IWL World Heavyweight Championship. And now we're down to Ali Atari and John Satterfield. So good luck, gentlemen. Our good friend Tim Clark has an opportunity here to, run the table, so to speak. So he does have an opportunity at the Tag Team Championship. He's currently the Pan Am champion. And if John Satterfield, he'll get the shot. If he wins, he'll get the shot at the King of Pro Wrestling. So, he has a great opportunity to take it all here. So, his TT's been coming up, so I've been real happy with that. But I think now it's time to really turn up the heat here a little bit. So, keep up the good work. In terms of the 4-pack challenge, we have the Brothers in Instruction currently in the league with 10 points. You have Take a Pencil tied with Revolution Extreme with 6 points, and we have Team International with 0 points, bringing up the rear. In addition to that, on the cover of Revolution Extreme magazine, we have Alexander J. Styles, a legend killer, for beating the holy hell out of Ali Atari at the pay-per-view. So, nice job. We're not gonna go too deep into TT this cycle, but I did want to mention Luther's TT talking about our good friend Logan Kane, and I was thinking about doing this gimmick here where Luther's going to mention a song in his TT going forward. Like every cycle, a new song is going to come up, and I'm going to create a Luther Alexander playlist on Spotify for everyone to enjoy. So keep on lookout for that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have Weekly World News with a picture of Cena Lucha who stole another cat. Son of a bitch. And then we have a beautiful picture of Neo Dragon and Luther Alexander from back in the day. So, Luke, what do you got for us in terms of the IWL?
Well, first of all, just Logan Kane. So his arrival is a huge deal. I mean, I can't really think of recently when we've had like a big name kind of come in that way. Like, at least from another, like the BRL or whatever.
Like outside the draft, yeah.
Right. So I think that's pretty awesome, and we'll see where he goes with that. There's a lot of places, a lot of people that he could feud with and interact with. So we'll just have to see where that goes. Then we got the Styles and Atari. They're going to have another match, so that's a big deal. I think that this is a good feud, and I think that it's good for both of them. And I think that if Styles can manage to beat Atari again twice in a row, it's definitely going to help his star continue to rise. And even if he doesn't, then we just get the possibility there's going to be a rubber match. And that'll be equally as exciting. Also, we have Revolution Extreme. There's a lot going on. It's kind of in anarchy right now. And it's RX appears to be everywhere. We had RX members win the league title for the past 3 cycles, and they just continue to do well. So they're definitely the premier bad guys.
In addition, we had Dixon in the Grand Prix match with Apollo's Pain, so he's a shot to take that title as well.
Right. So that's a big match at Wrestle Riot. So this is the first time that Dixon's really been in contention for something since he's gotten here. So we'll have to see if he's able to rise to the occasion. And the Pan American title, or excuse me, yeah, it's the Grand Prix title.
Grand Prix
title is one of the best titles. A lot of people that started with a Grand Prix title end up winning the world title later on. So it's definitely a sign of things to come. So we also, speaking of arrivals, got Black Arrow Vengeance coming up and over from where they were before. So that's pretty awesome for us to get such a solid T tier. If you saw in the NWL Veterans Corner, it was the manager talking about his time there. So it's good to see that he's going to continue on here in the IWAR. And then also the Three Birds and the Disembowelers. That's like a big potential match setup. So even though they're not going to meet at Wrestle Riot, everybody wants to see them. So I think it's a boon to the IWL to have both of those units here in the league. And
Disembowelers are penciled in for the next. They're going to be in the MSG Tag League when that comes out this summer. So.
Yeah,
they have the opportunity to destroy the entire division in one fell swoop.
Yeah. So, and then we have, like you said, we have Wrestle Riot coming up. So, and then Johnny WrestleFest versus Bulk Brogan. So that'll be interesting too. It's the first time Brogan's had a title shot, and this WrestleFest as a Pan American champion, he's kind of always been the challenger since his first title defense. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does against Bulk Brogan. And then the Three Birds versus Destruction and Oblivion. That'll probably be a good match. The Kumite, I think that there are several people in here that if they won, especially like Styles or Warrior, it's just going to take them to the next level. So that'll be interesting to see, unless Teamster wins, and then it was a complete and utter waste. So
there's something hilarious that seeing the Teamster fighting in the Kumite. I don't know. He reminds me of the guy from Bloodsport. You know what I mean? Like
He's
the
very
big American dude.
Yeah, the guy that looks like Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then Revenge of the Nerds.
We got Atari and Satterfield in the Elite Eight, and that's a heavyweight title shot. So this might be Atari's way to crawl his way back to the title picture. So we'll have to see. And then we have Dragon and Shea. This is the first time that we've had two RX members.
Two stablemates for those
Two
people who
stablemate.
don't think the IWL has stables for some reason.
That's
Right.
weird. But they are going up against the title, and it's definitely causing some controversy in Revolution Extreme. So it could be a good match. Shea is definitely a surprise to be in that position, but I think that it's going to add a wrinkle to what's going on because Neo Dragon's kind of starting to go off the reservation a little bit. So we'll see what this match can do for RX and for him and that whole dynamic. So, but there's a lot going on in the IWL. There's lots of exciting stuff, and I'm really looking forward to Wrestle Riot. I think it'll be, even though the location probably isn't the best, it'll definitely be an exciting pay-per-view, though it'll be hard to top the last one. So
Someone has to be thrown into a porta potty. That's all I have to say.
thrown into a porta potty and then tipped it over.
Of course, that has to happen. That has to be a thing.
I think that the Kumite should be.
Kumite is going to be inside the Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's inside the Walmart. That's no holds barred. That's perfect. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. They got to fight in like the women's lingerie section or something, whatever.
Welcome to the IWL's version of the Attitude Era that we're currently in, and we're not going to last too much longer, guys. So guys, for this pay-per-view, if you're going to be ridiculous and you're going to write crazy stuff, this is the time to do such things because we go in a different direction coming up shortly. So,
Well, as
so
long
keep
as we
that
don't
one.
go into the ruthless aggression area or the invasion angle, I think we'll be okay.
I think we're going to go into the Thunderdome era. A couple of notes before we wrap up here. I do appreciate everyone who's using the characters that we actually have in their TT. I see a lot of mentions of David Crockett here. And it's funny because a lot of these guys are made up names. I just chose to use David Crockett just outright because he's such a character. I love David Crockett. Also, I'm curious. I have to ask my own question. I just wonder to myself, what does African Ovaltine taste like? Does anyone have any ideas about African Ovaltine and what it tastes like?
Chocolate?
Does
Everybody likes
regular
chocolate.
Ovaltine taste like chocolate? I don't think so. It tastes like shit.
I mean, I've never had it.
Tastes better.
You never had Ovaltine? Matt, you've had Ovaltine, right?
Maybe.
Wow.
I've had coffee milk
I
or
grew up
Nestle
poor.
Quick, Strawberry Quick, baby. That powder.
Cake eater. Ridiculous.
Did you call him a cake eater?
I did. It's a Mighty Ducks reference for you guys.
What kind of attack is that? Cake.
And then we have Late Night Logan Kane, who claims to have an interview next cycle with Alexander, which I don't think is true. So be on the lookout for that.
Well, which Alexander is it? Because Luther Alexander has an unknown number of brothers, but they all have the same name.
They're
And that's-
clones.
I mean, that's neither confirmed nor denied. But
I mean, it's been redacted by the Russian government, so we don't really know. That's how that goes. Well, yeah, clones, and maybe there could be some multiverse type things going on there. Who knows? It's like the MCU, guys. It's weird. All right. That being said, guys, that's it. We did all the we did it out of order this time. So we started with IWAR wide news. So
Lots
we're
going on.
ending here with the IWR. So Matt, any parting shots before we call it quits this evening?
Luther Alexander sucks.
It's true.
Oh, you mean just like in general for the news? Oh, there's lots of events coming up, so join. Don't wait. Don't pull the thing where you send an email 2 months later. It's just into it and be like, hey, remember Lethal Lottery's free. One wrestler per player. Same with the Summer Series. It's $5 for that. check all the events out. Get involved. It's going to be an awesome summer and an awesome year, so get involved.
Oh, yeah, reminder, there are no staple initials in the IWL. Okay, guys?
Backstabber.
Wow. I didn't want to call them out, but geez.
Right,
Yeah, don't do that. The IWA is supposed to remove those but they oftentimes they do miss them. All the time, every single time actually they've actually missed them.
They always miss them, yeah. That's terrible.
So do me a favor, no stable initials in the IWL. It saves me from writing an email. They're gonna remove it anyway. There's no two ways about it. It's what's gonna happen. So save me some time here, guys, please. For the love of God. That being said, Luke, do you have any parting thoughts before we call it quits?
Yeah, the lethal lottery is sexist, and if you're a woman, you're not allowed to join it. And I thought everybody should know about the rampant sexism.
Did you know the lethal lottery was the theme of my prom?
Oh boy.
Man, it's rough.
90s were fucked up.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Larry Sullivan 4, Matt Riley 4, Luke Martin, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.